Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video where today we will be walking through Premiere Pro, and it does not matter whether you're on Mac or Windows because the process is pretty much the same either way. I will be using Adobe Premiere Pro 2019, although 2018, 2017 and 2016 are very similar, so that's that. I'll also be doing some light After Effects editing, just showing you how to use that. So without further ado, and please excuse the static in my microphone, let's open Premiere Pro. Also at the end I'll probably describe, I don't know what to call it, but I'll tell you why sometimes it's a better idea to use a less intensive editing program for certain types of videos you're making. But ooh, yes, finally it's launching. Yeah, so pretty much this video will be edited in Premiere Pro, mainly because there's a lot of zooming in parts I'll be doing just to show you all around. And yeah, I hope this video actually helps you. I should mention that I will sound like I'm in a bit of a rush because after this I have a business studies assignment I really need to get done. So that's gonna happen. As soon as I finish this video actually, because yeah, I'm not putting that off any longer. So, in case you didn't know, I took a multimedia course last year, and that's pretty much what taught me how to use Premiere Pro and After Effects. So yeah, those are some pretty important skills I think. If you're planning to do video editing, please take a multimedia course, because you will learn a lot from it. Okay, we are in, and it should come up with a screen, because I'll just be using some demo footage just to edit, so this will not be a video I'll upload. Pretty much you'll come to here, you won't have any of this if you're new to it, but you'll want to go to New Project on the left here, and you'll want to name it whatever you want, and you can just leave all these as is. If this is on DV, please change it to HDV, but other than that, just copy these settings, and yeah, you can press OK. So once you're in, your thing should look a bit like this. Yeah, if it doesn't, then don't worry, it'll look similar to this because this is almost the default layout. It might be a slight bit different, but what you want to do is go to the left here where it says import media, double tap or double click, and you should be open to whatever folder you want. So say your footage that you're planning to import to the project is in documents, you just go there, or if it's in a certain folder you can be more specific and go file name and then blah blah blah. But for this example I might just use some raw footage from my Tiguan thing, so hold control, just select a couple. On Mac it would be hold command I believe, I can't quite remember, I don't edit too much on my Mac. Open, then it'll import the files, right? And then you might want to import a song as well, so what you want to do with that, it's a similar process, although you just go to whatever your file things, or whether it's Finder or File Explorer. You can go to wherever your music is, so I think I have some in downloads. Let's just use, I don't know, too much, let's just use too much. So you want to drag that to the project, and it should just appear right in there. Now, to get started, I would recommend you do this. First you want to actually just put the footage over here, right? And then go over to okay, so after you've imported your footage you want to go over to sequence and then go to sequence settings, and then you want to have custom, or yeah, custom, you'll just have custom, and then you want 60 frames per second. Even if you're editing 30 frames per second footage, you want to go to 60 frames per second, because I see all the time videos in the default 25 frames per second and it's really irritating. Then you want to go frame size 1920 by 1080, and then pixel aspect ratio, just keep it as that. Display, frames, sample rate, whatever. Maximum render quality if you really want, but I wouldn't recommend it because it takes a bunch of storage. And yeah, so that's pretty much all you have to do for there. Now we can actually get editing. So you'll see there is a yellow bar just up here. That means that the video is kind of semi-rendered, but not really. So if you want to make it completely rendered, you go to Sequence, and then Render Entire Work Area. and then that will render in the entire clip so it's nice and smooth in 60 frames per second or whatever frame rate you're working at. So that's all good. If you want to cut out the audio, you just simply press lock, in which the footage is. I should explain, the top bar is the footage and the bottom one is the audio. So if you lock the footage, you can delete the audio by clicking on it and pressing delete, and then it gets rid of the audio. So now you just have the footage with no audio at all, which is what you usually want to do if you're making a cinematic or something. So let's just put the audio in. So you just drag that underneath. And then I might want to cut here, so if it's black. And then I might want the footage to start here, so I'll just put that in as a marker, and then drag a bit more footage on top of it, lock that in, and delete the audio. And then I'll unlock it, delete this, and move this down. So now, as you can see, there is a small cut there, just as I want. So that's quite good. That means that, yeah, there's a blank space there. So as you can see, it's yellow, so I might want to render that in. So entire work area, render that in, and it will look a bit like this. Okay, and then I might want some strange effect at the end of this clip. So I want to split it here, right? And then I want to say go over to make it an effect. I want to spin it the footage around. So what you want to do is go up here, and usually it'll be on source, I think. So you want to go over to effect controls, and then click the clip that you want to control, and then over here you have a couple of default options. So you can change the position in which the frame is. I'll just reset that. You can make it up or down. You can increase or decrease the scale. So you can also do the rotation. You can do the anchor point, and yeah, just play around with it. And you can do the opaque, whatever it is. I can't quite remember the name. But you can play around with all of that. It's interesting. But yeah, if you want to just make it zoom in for this part, what you want to do is go over to the little stopwatch over in scale, click that, and using the arrow keys, just move forward about 10 frames, and then put the scale into about 310, say. What I want, move it forward a bit more, put it into about 1000, move it forward just a bit more, put it into a bit higher, so it's on the grey, so there. And then if I render all the effects in, as you can see, it does that. So then I may want to cut it there, delete this part, and insert, say, the dashboard part. So do that, of course, lock it, get rid of the audio, unlock it, drag it down, and render it in. This may take a while depending on the type of computer you're using. I'd recommend you have minimum an Intel i5 for this, or an AMD Ryzen 5. You can have lower CPUs, but to be honest, Premiere Pro is pretty darn intensive, especially when it's exporting. It does take up a lot of CPU power. I would also recommend you have minimum 4 GB of RAM. That's at base level, so you want that. As you can see, that's how a little video is coming along so far. But if you want, you can do more effect settings over here, such as a transition. So you might want to transition after this thing into the next clip. So what you want to do, go to video transitions, and then you have a couple of options. Don't worry about immersive video unless you have full 360 degree whatever video. But I'm going to just use a wipe. So I might want to use a checkerboard kind of style. So I'll put that in there, and as you can see, that happens there. What I want to do is click on the checkerboard thing down here, and it'll give me a little thing up here. So the duration will be for 25 frames, so maybe I only want it for 13 frames, so I'll just slide it a bit down, and then you have how checkered it will be when it starts. So you can have it there, and then you can end it there, say. But I'll just have it for the entire time, so then I want to go to sequence, render effects area in, and then it's starting to look a bit more like a cinematic. So what you want to do after this, maybe you want to, say, add a couple of After Effects things, such as a bit of text. So if you want to add text, you can just do text tool down here, click anywhere on the screen you want the text to be. So say I want it around there, and then I'll just type hi Tiguan, or however I manage to spell stuff, with a capital T, of course. So I might just want that. Then you just click here and just click off the screen, then you can just drag it around and whatever. So I might just want this here, right? And then what I want to do is just trim it to where I want it to stop. So I might just want to make it stop there, so I'll just cut it there and then get rid of there. So now I just have it for that specific part of the video. Now After Effects is really cool because you can highlight this, go over to File, Adobe Dynamic Link, and then replace with After Effects Composition. And then what this will do is open After Effects, and you will be able to edit it inside of that, and then it will kind of mix it with Premiere Pro, so you won't have to import the footage from After Effects to Premiere Pro. It just kind of works side by side, if you get me. You will probably be able to understand it after I perform the task, but yeah, so we'll do that now. As you can see, After Effects 2018 is launching, although I have 2019, but it doesn't matter. After Effects is the same either way, so it doesn't really matter too much. Alright, so then it'll open up this screen and it'll just show you what you want to save the composition as, so I'll just do whatever that is, and then just wait a couple of seconds and it should load in with your selected footage. It'll appear low quality until it kind of renders in, because it doesn't have this sequence thing where you can render all it in. You have to press play to make that happen. But then as you can see, it shows the Hi Tiguan thing. So what I can do is go onto this layer, and this should be where the Tiguan thing is. As you can see, I'm moving it around there, so I can reposition it. And the main thing I can do is go over to Effects and Presets. So this will just take a second to load. It's open now, so then what you want to do is go to Text, and then, hang on, no, never mind. No, sorry, what you want to do is just go to any of these. Any of these will work. So, Effects and Presets, you can go over to whatever you want. So I would want, maybe, say, a blur and sharpen, a compound blur. So I might want a compound blur on the Hey Tiguan. So then over here on the left, you can see that I can control the maximum blur and the amount of times that it blurs throughout the certain footage. So if I do that, oh, hang on, that's scrolling in and out. So yeah, you can just play around with that a bit, but I don't really want that particular footage, so I'm just going to go Alt Z, no, never mind, it's Control Z, I think. Yeah, there you go, Control Z. Still a bit used to Max. Anyway, that's all good. Maybe we want some distort, so we might want, say, a twirl. So just put a twirl in there. As you can see, it kind of distorts it. I think this could be pretty interesting, so I might put the time thing there. So this is a bit different to Premiere Pro, so you can have it there, and then the timer starts there. You can move the footage along a bit, and then put it there, and then you can kind of straighten it out again a bit. And then what your footage will look like is this. So it'll have that little effect there. This can also be applied to the general footage, so say I want a warp feature, just drag that onto the footage, and then I can do this. I can click there, move throughout the footage, say I want this, oh hang on, no, that's editing. That again, I forgot to actually click on the footage, so I want that there, warp. Okay, as you can see, we have the warp axis. We want a bulge, so might have the thing here. Oh no, this is still editing the Tiguan part. Hang on. Alright, so I think I found out what you have to do. You have to move warp onto the footage itself. With text it's a bit different because you're moving it onto the text, but this is a bit different. Footage is different itself, so you can have a bit of a bend here. So say I want it like this, and then because it's on timer over here, I want to move it there, and slowly it becomes more looking like this. At the same time, I want a bit of horizontal distortion, so I can push the timer there, move it a bit across, and have it a bit like this. And then what our footage will look like in Premiere Pro, if we go back here, if we go sequence, render entire work area, just wait for it to render. Yeah, I forgot to mention, you probably want smaller clips for editing in After Effects, maybe no longer than 10 seconds, because otherwise you'll be stuck waiting for it to render many frames. Whilst it's loading, I will make an apology for my sniffly nose, because as you guys have been commenting so many times in my latest MacBook restoration videos, yeah, I have a really runny nose because I'm sick at the moment, so please do not bicker about it in the comment section. But yeah, that's happening. Also, whilst this renders in, I will show you the YouTube channel of who actually requested this video. So if I go over to YouTube, this is obviously going to take a while to load because it's rendering in the background. So YouTube, enter, and then where is it? It should be in my subscription somewhere. Is Lux Car Reviews. As you can see, he has one video, but he's the person who requested this thing. Yeah, it's on this video right over here. He requested to see it, and his first video is actually pretty good. So he got to film with Rick Marks, Lamborghini Huracan Performante, which I'm pretty jealous of, if I'm honest. But it's a really cool video. He made it with iMovie, but yeah, it's really awesome. I do recommend you check out his channel, Lux Car Reviews. I have a feeling he's going to upload some awesome content once he knows actually how to use Premiere Pro. But yeah, let's hear the About section. I haven't read it yet. No About section. But yeah. Here's a pretty cool channel. You can follow him on Instagram as well. It's lucas._.mc. I'm not too sure. Hang on, let me check on that. Alright, let's find him on Instagram. So it should just be, hang on, if I go, hang on. Oh, it's gonna load, there we go. Yeah, lucas._._._mc. So that's him, and then this is the owner of the Performante. Yeah, if you want to go follow the guy who owns the Performante, who's there, and then Lucas is here, so you can go follow both of them. And as you can see, he has the video up on his Instagram as well. But yeah, he's pretty cool. He uploads some pretty awesome shots. Personal favorite of mine is probably this of the TechArt GT3R. Yeah, I'm just trying to find stuff to do whilst this renders. It's halfway, so yeah. But yeah, go check him a follow. Go check him a subscribe to him. Show some, give him some support. I'm sure he'd appreciate it very much. All right, it's done. So as you can see, that's what our footage is looking like so far. We might want to remove this part because it's a bit irrelevant, so that part's gone. But pretty much you have this part right here, where it goes at high T1 and then it kind of warps. So that's quite good. We might just cut the music. Actually, I'll show you how to kind of fade it out if you want to do that. Pretty much delete that footage. Or maybe it's in iMovie actually. It's in iMovie. It's probably not too hard. Oh, yeah, okay. I know how to do it. I'll show you how to do it. So pretty much you'll want to put it there, and then have this right here. Click that, kind of move forward a couple frames, move that down a bit, a couple frames more, move it down a bit more. Or what you could do is just go to the very end and set a certain amount that you want it to go down by. And then if you go back to the beginning, as you can see, it'll look a bit like that. One more thing, if you're looking to stabilize really shaky footage, a very useful tool that you would want to use is Warp Stabilizer. So here it is. You simply just drag it onto the footage you want to stabilize, and it'll automatically stabilize it for you. I don't recommend using it all the time. I've stopped using it kind of because it zooms in a bit too much, personally. But it's good if you have really shaky hands and you just can't hold the camera straight. So yeah, once that renders in, and here we go. So if we press play, super stable. As you can see, this part's a bit shaky, so I might just stabilize this part as well. Alright, so that's all good. As you can see, it's super smooth and everything. So pretty much, if you want to just export this, you don't even have to highlight all of it actually. You just press on the first piece of footage there, make sure your timeline is at 0. Actually, I'll do a demonstration if it's not at 0. If it's not, actually first, you want to, the most important, render in all of your effects. This will make exporting it a lot faster. So say you just leave your, whatever it is, I don't even remember what this is called, the time slot, whatever it is. But pretty much you'll have one clip selected. You want to go to File, and then Export, and then Media. So then it will come up here. As you can see, it will start it at frame 64. What you want to make sure you do is start it at frame 0 and end it at whatever there. But you only slide that thing to 0. You want to make sure of that. Then you want to make sure that the format is H.264. That is the most common format and it's the easiest to work with. It'll be defaulted to, I think it was, I can't even remember, but it was defaulted to that. You want to have it high bitrate because that will be, okay, go away Instagram. Go away Instagram. Okay, we're good. So that will be all there. Your settings should be the settings we had before. You want to have it NTSC, and that should be all good. Then you want to probably click there, change the export name. You can change it to wherever you want to store it, so you might want to have it there. Never mind, that's not the correct name because it has a /, so maybe I'll just get rid of the / and just do that. Okay, so that's all good. You want to export the video, export the audio, and now you want to export it. So just press export and simply just wait for it to export, which doesn't take too long if you're editing a really short video such as this. Alright, so it's exported now. Before you close this, you want to make sure that it's already saved. So go into your file explorer. I saved mine into downloads, so it should be around here. It should just be under the name of some random stuff. If I scroll up here, it should be around here somewhere. Here it is. Right here, double click. Just see if anything happened. It's really unlikely that something happened, but just watch it through. As you can see, that's the footage. That's the footage we just edited. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the tutorial video. I want to show you one other piece of footage that a friend of mine and I made, well actually mainly me, but we made this last year in our multimedia course, and I want you guys to let me know if you want to know how to edit stuff a bit like this. So I'll quickly put that video onto USB, put it into the computer, and then show it to you. Alright, so I edited this video on my MacBook Pro, which proves that even a more base level editing computer can edit this. Ooh, there's a bug on my keyboard. Hang on, I'm just going to squash that with a bit of bubble wrap. So pretty much I will blur out the person's who's in it face because he probably won't like to be shown. I just want to be respectful of that and all. So yeah, you can watch this and just let me know if you want to see a video explaining how to do stuff like this. Enjoy.
Hello, I am Magic Mouse 2. I will download free RAM now and infect your computer.
What happened?
Download terminated in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so that was it. You would have seen the kind of rearranging of... I didn't want to show his face, of course. But yeah, let me know if you want to see stuff like that. That was actually for a school assignment I had to do. Yeah, it took a couple of weeks to edit on my MacBook Pro. But yeah, I think that will be it for the video. Do let me know if it was helpful. That would be really appreciated. Also let me know how I did for my first tutorial kind of video showing you how to use the software, because I haven't done one of these before, and I hope I'm okay at it, and hopefully you found something out of how to use it. Actually, one more thing before you leave. If you haven't already left, I should explain. If you have a Mac, please do use iMovie for basic video editing, such as, say, if you're just going to, say, go to the beach and you want to vlog about it. Please don't use After Effects or Premiere Pro, because the export time in iMovie is a lot faster, and I mean, if you have to use After Effects and Premiere Pro to edit a couple parts, do. But if it's just basic unboxing videos, say, just please use iMovie, because otherwise it's just too much effort. Anyway, that's my advice. Stay tuned for the next video, and I will see you in the next one, so goodbye.